Hi everyone, welcome back to Islam Unbox. Today I will be talking about Aqiqah. Aqiqah is an Islamic tradition where Muslims sacrifice animals for their newborn. But this tradition, Muhammad did this tradition as well. But I want to show how pagan this tradition is. And also, not only that, but the gender, the two genders are made not equal since the day they were born. The boys valued twice as much as the girls from the time they were born. It is not so. If you remember my video a while back, how Muslim women in Islam are valued half than men in testimony or where they're getting inheritance. Not only that, this thing actually rooted from the time they were born. Now, Aqiqah is a Islamic tradition, as I said, from the time of Prophet Muhammad. But actually, it is longer than that. It is older than that, even before Muhammad became a prophet. But first, let me show you from the tradition itself from Hadith. We will see Sunan An-Nasai, Hadith number 4213. It was narrated from Abdullah bin Buraidah, from his father, that the Messenger of Allah offered the Aqiqah for Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein. We will go to the next hadith straight. This Sunan An-Nasai, hadith number 4219. It was narrated that Ibn Abbas said the Messenger of Allah offered an Aqiqah for Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein, 2 rams each, because they're boys. Boys get 2 rams each. So when you are a Muslim, you want to sacrifice an animal. If you get a boy, it has to be two rams or 2 lambs or 2 sheep or 2 goats. Now let me show you from Sunan Abu Dawud. Hadith number 2834, narrated Kurs Al-Kabiyah. I heard the Messenger of Allah say, 2 resembling sheep are to be sacrificed for a boy and 1 for a girl. There you go. The discrimination between boy and girl starts from they were newborn, when they were just a newborn, until they grow up, until they die. Male always double. The value of male double than female. We will read from Jami At-Tirmidhi today also. This is very interesting. Jami At-Tirmidhi, hadith number 1522, narrated Samurah, that the Messenger of Allah said the boy is mortgaged by his Aqiqah. Slaughtering should be done for him on the 7th day. He should be given a name, and his head should be shaved. Remember, his head should be shaved. All right? I will not give explanation for now. I will give it later, almost at the end, about this. His head should be shaved. Now we will go to Sahih al-Bukhari. This Sahih al-Bukhari will show the purpose of Aqiqah that you should remember. Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 5472, narrated Salman ibn Amir ad-Dabi. I heard Allah's messenger saying, Aqiqah is to be offered for newly born boy, so slaughter an animal for him and relieve him of his suffering. So this hadith is very clear. The slaughtering of the animal is to relieve the boy, the baby from his suffering. Suffering what? He's a boy. And he's only like several days old. If the boy is healthy, then I don't think there's any suffering. Right? But they have to do Aqiqah to relieve him from his suffering. To relieve him. So as if the boy has been suffering. Before I go there, I want to show you a couple of things first. Aqiqah from the Shia point of view. I will open from Wiki Shia. Very similar from Sunni. Tradition of slaughtering animals 7 days after one's baby is born in order to protect the baby from possible suffering and troubles. Now, however, this one is from to protect the baby from possible sufferings and troubles. It means in the future. But if we go back to Sahih al-Bukhari from Sunni tradition, is to relieve him of his suffering. To relieve him of his suffering. So it means the baby has been suffering. Now let me go back to Wikisya. So I have never showed a Shia hadith before. But today I will show you from their hadith, from Shia hadith. This one from Al-Kafi, volume 4, hadith number 1. Humayd ibn Ziyad has narrated from Ibn Samah, from Ibn Jabalah, and Ali ibn Muhammad has narrated from Salih ibn Abu Hamad, from Abdullah ibn Jabalah, from Abdullah ibn Sinan, who has said the following. Abu Abdullah has stated this hadith. On the 7th day from birth, offer Aqiqah. Shave the head of the child and give in charity an amount of silver equal to the weight of his hairs, and cut the meat of Aqiqah without breaking any bones. Then cook the meat and invite a group of Muslims to be served. Now, if you notice, the names are different because obviously they are Shia. They're not Sunni, that's why the names are different here, right? So, also, remember, shaving head of the baby in Shia also recommended when you're doing Aqiqah, when you're slaughtering an animal for a newly born baby. On the 7th day, you shave his head, or shave the head of the child, and give in charity an amount of silver equal to the weight of his hair. My goodness, how much hair is this? So, this thing, now the next thing I want to tell you is about Hindu tradition, about first haircut in Hindu tradition. So this is the first haircut in Islamic tradition from Shia and Sunni, both of them on the seventh day. In Hinduism or in Hindu tradition, the shaving of the hair also is they also do the same thing. Why they do it? Because to signify freedom from the past. To signify what? Freedom from the past. Now, go back to Sahih Al-Bukhari. Is to relieve him of his suffering, right? Very similar. Very similar. Now you have to remember, Hinduism believes in reincarnation. That's why they have the haircut is to signify freedom from the past life. And moving into the future. That's what it is. Because in Hindu tradition, the hair from birth is associated with undesirable traits from past lives. So, undesirable means bad things, right? So, by cutting the hair, that's it, freedom from the past. No more suffering. No more suffering. That's the thing. I mean, in many traditions or cultures, people do shave the heads of their babies, the hair. The first haircut is usually like very exciting. Well, the first of anything is exciting, but because there's like something, I don't know why many cultures celebrate this more than other things. Like in Mongol, children get their first haircut when they were between 2 to 5 years old. Also in Orthodox Jew or Hasidic Jewish, the boys they get first haircut when they are 3 years old. Now, when we go back to Jami' at-Tirmidhi, the boy, remember, this is Muhammad saying, the boy is mortgaged by his Aqiqah. Slaughtering should be done for him on the seventh day. He should be given a name and his head should be shaved. Very similar to Hinduism. In Poland, the first haircut was a ritual that was done until 18th century. Even though most of them are Catholics, but this is a pagan Slavic tradition. They did it until 18th century. And usually the boys actually little older, between 7 to 10 years old. They get the first haircut when they are between 7 to 10 years old in Poland. So many cultures celebrating first haircut as well. Not only in Islam, but this kind of first haircut is not like celebrated in Christianity, for example, right? Only in Islam and Hinduism and pagans, Slavic pagans. Right? That's how it is. This Aqiqah going hand in hand with shaving the hair or head, shaving head. So cut the hair, the first haircut is pagan by Hindu and Slavic pagans. And now, but somehow, Muslims also do it. Actually, if you read Al-Qulaini, is another hadith from Shia. That hadith, I forget where it is actually. I have to look actually. I don't know why I didn't look for it. That hadith actually showing Al-Qulaini actually saying Aqiqah was a pagan ritual. The difference between the pagan rituals in Middle East or in Makkah, the difference between the pagan's ritual Aqiqah in paganism and Aqiqah in Islam is the pagan would dip with a cotton wool into the blood of sacrificed animal and then apply the blood on the forehead of the baby. Islam does not do that. In Islam, Muslims do not dip cotton wool into the blood of the sacrificed animal. But however, the sacrificing animals are the same. So whether it's Aqiqah, sacrificing animals, or first haircut, in Islam, both are rooted from pagan rituals. That's why you do not see this in Christianity. Well, at least it is safe to say, not the Christianity I know, not from Indonesia or not in Canada. Of course, it is always exciting to cut, to give the first haircut, because their babies, the first haircut is always exciting. It's funny, it's cute. I understand. But however, it is not celebrated as ritual. I hope this thing, the hadith I'm showing, are good enough as evidence that women are made lower in Islam since the time of their birth. Not only when they grow up, but since the time at birth. Well, that's all from me for today. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you all. Whether you're pagans, whether you're Muslim or Christian or Buddhist or atheist. God bless you all. Have a nice life.